Today, we are going to tackle 12 super common grammar mistakes that might just be holding back your IELTS score. You know, these are those subtle little errors that are so easy to miss, but trust me, fixing them is one of the fastest ways to make your English sound way more natural and fluent. So, let's get right into it.
So let me ask you this. What if some of the grammar you use every day sounds totally normal, but it's actually quietly lowering your score without you even realizing it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into and fix together today.
All right, let's dive right in with our first section, hidden grammar traps. These are the sneaky mistakes that often feel right, maybe because of how you'd say it in your first language, but the rules of English have other plans.
Okay, let's kick things off with a classic tense error. When you're talking about a general truth, or a fact, something that's always true, you've got to use the present simple tense. So instead of saying people found something interesting, which sounds like it only happened in the past, you should say they find it interesting. This is a huge one on the IELTS.
Moving on to our second section, let's talk about precision in word choice. This is all about picking the words that native speakers naturally put together, and it's a massive step towards sounding truly fluent. This section's a little longer, just because this is where so many of those small but really important errors tend to pop up.
So the key idea here is something called collocation, which is really just a fancy word for words that are natural partners in English. Like we say heavy traffic, right? Not thick traffic. Or we make an effort, we don't do an effort. Getting these pairs right is an amazing shortcut to sounding more like a native speaker.
I absolutely love this analogy. Just think of collocations as puzzle pieces. Certain words are just shaped to fit together perfectly. And when you use the right ones, your sentences just click right into place. It's so satisfying.
Here is a perfect example. We don't make balance in our lives, we bring balance. It's such a subtle shift, I know, but bring balance is the one that sounds completely natural to a native English speaker.
And here's another super common one. You don't go to military service, you do military service. For activities like this, that verb choice is everything if you want to sound natural.
Now, phrasal verbs, oh man, they can be really tricky, can't they? For example, falling back might mean to retreat or move backwards. But if you're not keeping up with your studies, the correct phrasal verb is to fall behind. The meaning is super specific, and using the wrong one can definitely cause some confusion.
It's so easy to make time phrases way too complicated. Saying back then in 5 years ago is just, it's repetitive, since both parts refer to the past. A much cleaner, more natural way to say it is simply about 5 years ago. Just remember, sometimes simplicity is the absolute key to fluency.
Okay, let's talk about prepositions. These are teeny tiny words with a massive impact. You are at a stage in your life, not in it. It kind of helps to think of it like a specific point on a timeline. This tiny little fix makes a surprisingly big difference in how fluent you sound.
And here's another great preposition example for you. When you use into, it suggests movement or a change. You're moving into a new position, but in kind of suggests you're already there. It's all about capturing that feeling of transition.
So, why does all this tiny stuff matter so much? Well, here's why. Grammar accounts for a full 25% of your total score in both the IELTS writing and speaking tests. Getting these little details right will directly boost your score. It really is that important.
All right, let's shift gears to our third section. We're going to focus on something we use in almost every sentence, nouns, and how to correctly handle their plural and singular forms.
This one is huge. Uncountable nouns. Words like chaos, information, or advice, you can't count them one by one. So you can't have a chaos. It's just total chaos. All you have to do is drop the A, and it's a simple, powerful fix.
When it comes to plurals, agreement is everything. If you start a phrase with a plural word like these or those, the noun right after it has to be plural too. It's not these sort, it has to be these sorts. The whole phrase needs to match up.
And now for our final section on mistakes. We're going to zoom out from single words and phrases and look at the bigger picture, the actual structure of your sentences.
Okay, just listen to this phrase. One rule that I find difficult to accept. See how it kind of leaves you hanging? Like, what about the rule? What is the rule? That's because it's a sentence fragment, not a complete thought. It starts an idea, but never actually finishes it.
And boom, here's the fix. By adding is military service, we complete the thought. Now the sentence has all its parts, and it makes a clear, full statement. You gotta make sure every single sentence you write or say expresses a complete idea.
Now, this might seem really basic, but it's an error that pops up all the time, especially when you're under pressure. The verb to be has to be used correctly. It's not that be worse, it's that is worse. Getting this right is absolutely fundamental for building correct sentences.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's pull it all together in our final section with a quick review of the key ideas that are going to give your grammar a serious boost.
So let's just recap the big rules. Number 1, always check your tenses, especially for general truths. 2, use those natural word combinations, those collocations. 3, pay close attention to your nouns. Are they countable or not? 4, make sure your plural forms agree. And finally, number 5, always make sure every sentence is a complete thought. If you just do those checks, you'll catch most of these common errors.
And really, that's the main takeaway here. It's not about learning some incredibly complex grammar rule overnight. If you want a higher score, just focusing on these small, common-sense fixes can and absolutely will make a huge difference. So, I'll leave you with this question. Looking back at everything we just covered, which one of these common mistakes surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, because thinking about that is the very first step to fixing it for good. Thanks for watching.